In this video, we're going to talk about something very important for older adults. Our bodies have a way of giving us signals, and sometimes those signals tell us that life may be entering its final stage. These are not the normal aches, stiffness, or tired days that come with age. Instead, they are clear warning signs that doctors and health experts often notice when someone is nearing the end of their journey. My goal in sharing this is not to scare you, but to give you knowledge that can bring comfort and understanding. When you know what these signs are, you can recognize them in yourself or in someone you love. And instead of feeling helpless, you'll be able to face them with acceptance, dignity, and peace. We will go through 7 of these signs together. Each one will be explained in simple words so you don't feel confused or overwhelmed. By the end of this video, you'll not only know what the signs are but also understand how to respond, with compassion, patience, and wisdom. Before we start, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Just drop your state or city in the comments below. And if you have any natural health tips of your own, feel free to share those too. Someone else might really benefit from hearing what's worked for you. Sign 1: Rapid and unexplained weight loss. One of the clearest signs that the body may be moving into a new stage is sudden weight loss that you cannot explain. This isn't the slow change that happens when you adjust your diet or become a little less active. Instead, it's when the pounds seem to slip away even though you haven't changed anything about the way you eat or live. Clothes begin to feel looser, the mirror shows a thinner face, and sometimes friends or family even comment that you look smaller. Why does this happen? As the body gets weaker, it may not absorb nutrients as it once did. The digestive system slows down, the cells stop using food as efficiently, and illnesses such as cancer or organ decline may also play a role. Alongside this weight loss often comes a loss of appetite. Foods that once brought joy may taste different, or you may feel full after only a few bites. This is not a matter of willpower. It is the body quietly shifting its focus away from maintaining strength and toward conserving energy. For loved ones, watching this change can be deeply painful. It can feel as if the person is fading before their eyes. Families sometimes try to push meals or encourage bigger portions, but the truth is the body may no longer be able to handle it. What matters most in these moments is not forcing food, but offering comfort. A favorite soft dish, a small spoonful of something sweet, or even a sip of warm tea may provide more ease than a heavy plate ever could. Recognizing this sign allows us to respond with compassion. Instead of struggling against what the body cannot sustain, we can focus on dignity, gentle care, and creating meaningful moments together. Sign 2: Persistent and extreme fatigue. As we get older, most of us know what it feels like to be tired after a busy day or a restless night. But the kind of fatigue we are talking about here is very different. This is not the kind of tiredness that disappears after a nap or a good night's sleep. Instead, it is a deep and lasting exhaustion that lingers no matter how much rest you get. Even small tasks, like walking across the room, holding a short conversation, or sitting upright in a chair, can feel overwhelming, almost like climbing a mountain. Why does this happen? When the body begins to shut down, it uses its limited energy for only the most important functions. The heart may not pump as strongly, the lungs may not bring in as much oxygen, and the blood may not carry nutrients the way it once did. Because of this, less energy is available for movement or alertness. Many people in this stage start sleeping much longer during the day, waking only for short moments, and then drifting back into sleep. Nights may become restless, but daytime sleep grows heavier and more frequent. This fatigue also affects the mind. It may become harder to think clearly, follow a conversation, or stay focused. Some people begin to speak less, not because they have lost interest, but because it takes too much energy to form words and keep the conversation going. Silence often becomes easier than speech. For families, this change can be hard to accept. It may feel as though the person is slipping away emotionally. But in reality, the body is simply conserving what little strength remains. The best way to respond is with patience and kindness, offering comfort, allowing rest, and remembering that presence often matters more than words. A gentle touch, a calm environment, and quiet understanding can bring peace in these moments. Sign 3. Noticeable changes in breathing. One of the most visible changes that can happen near the end of life is a shift in breathing patterns. This may appear in many ways. Sometimes, a person feels short of breath even while sitting still, needing to pause often in the middle of a sentence. Other times, breathing may slow down with long gaps between breaths, or it may switch between very shallow breaths and deeper, heavier ones. Families may even hear a rattling or gurgling sound, often called the death rattle, which happens when the throat muscles grow too weak to clear fluids. These changes happen because the lungs and respiratory system are no longer working as they once did. Oxygen levels fall, carbon dioxide builds up, and the body struggles to keep balance. For the person experiencing it, there may be a heavy feeling in the chest or the sense that air is never quite enough. Hands and feet may start to feel cooler, and sometimes a bluish tint can be seen on the lips or fingertips. This is because circulation is now focused on the vital organs at the body's core. For loved ones, these shifts can feel frightening. Watching someone breathe with difficulty can stir deep worry and helplessness. Yet, it is important to remember that this is part of the body's natural process. Often, these changes are not painful. What matters most is comfort, keeping the person in a peaceful, calm environment. Gentle touches, a soft voice, and simply being present can make a big difference. Breathing changes remind us that the body is working hard to conserve its final energy. Our role is not to try to correct or control the rhythm, but to ease the experience. Reassurance, warmth, and presence can bring more peace than any words of explanation ever could. Sign 4. Withdrawal from social interaction. Another important sign that often appears near the end of life is a gradual withdrawal from people and activities. Someone who once enjoyed long conversations may now prefer short answers or even silence. A person who used to welcome visitors might start choosing to stay in their room, quietly resting, rather than joining family gatherings. Hobbies that once brought joy, like reading, gardening, or watching television, may no longer hold any interest. This change is not about rejecting loved ones or losing affection. Instead, it is the body's way of conserving energy. Speaking, listening, and even processing conversation can take more strength than many people realize. When energy becomes scarce, the body naturally turns inward. There is a sense of detachment, as though the person is preparing for a new journey, focusing less on the outside world and more on their inner experience. For families, this shift can feel painful. It may seem as if a loved one is slipping away even before they are truly gone. Many people wonder if they have done something wrong or if the person no longer wants them nearby. But it is important to remember that this withdrawal is not rejection. It is simply the body choosing rest, stillness, and peace over stimulation. The most comforting response is to honor this need for quiet. Being present, offering a hand to hold, or sitting side by side in silence can mean far more than filling the space with words. Sometimes, presence without expectation brings the deepest connection. Even in silence, love can be felt, and comfort can be given. This gentle acceptance shows respect for the stage the person is in and helps them feel secure and cared for. Sign 5. Decline in appetite and thirst. As the body begins to slow down, one of the most noticeable changes is a sharp drop in appetite and thirst. Meals that were once a daily comfort suddenly lose their appeal. A person may take only a few bites before pushing the plate away or may stop asking for food altogether. Drinks, even water, might be refused, not out of stubbornness, but because the body no longer sends the same hunger and thirst signals. Why does this happen? When the body is nearing its final stage, digestion becomes less active. The need for calories decreases, and the body focuses its remaining energy on essential functions like the heart and brain. Because of this, the stomach feels full more quickly, and eating or drinking can even cause discomfort. Swallowing may grow difficult, and the mouth may feel dry. For families, this can be a heartbreaking change to witness. Many people feel worried or even guilty when a loved one refuses meals, as if they are failing to provide care. It's natural to want to encourage eating with favorite dishes or remind them to drink more water. But forcing food or liquids often creates more discomfort. Instead, comfort becomes the priority. Offering small sips, ice chips, or moistening the lips with a damp sponge can bring relief. Soft foods in tiny portions may feel more manageable than full plates. The goal is no longer nourishment for strength, but comfort in the present moment. Understanding this sign helps shift the focus from getting enough food to making each moment meaningful. Sitting together, sharing gentle words, or simply being present can bring more peace and love than any meal could provide. In these times, it is the closeness that matters most. Sign 6. Noticeable changes in skin and circulation. As the body moves closer to its final stage, the skin often begins to show visible changes that reflect what is happening inside. You may notice areas of skin that look bluish, purplish, or blotchy, especially on the hands, feet, knees, or elbows. The skin may also feel cool to the touch, even if the room is warm. This happens because circulation slows down, and the body directs its limited blood flow toward the vital organs instead of the extremities. Along with changes in color, the skin can become thinner and more fragile. Gentle touches that once caused no reaction may now leave small marks or bruises. Wounds may take longer to heal, and in some cases, they may not heal at all. Families sometimes notice a marbling effect, almost like a web of patterns on the skin. This is a strong signal that the body is conserving its final energy. These changes can be upsetting to see. For loved ones, it may feel like a harsh visual reminder that life is slipping away. But it is important to understand that these shifts are not usually painful. They are simply signs of the body's natural progression toward closure. What matters most in this stage is comfort. Warmth and gentleness can go a long way. Soft blankets, cozy socks, and a peaceful environment can ease discomfort. Instead of trying to correct the skin changes, focus on creating a sense of safety and care. Small acts of kindness, a gentle touch, warm hands, or sitting quietly together, can provide reassurance that your loved one is not alone. These skin and circulation changes remind us of the body's wisdom in saving its strength. Our role is to offer warmth, love, and presence as the body completes its journey. Sign 7. Withdrawal and decreased awareness. One of the final and most telling signs that life may be nearing its close is when a person begins to withdraw more deeply from the world around them. This is not just about avoiding conversation or activities, it is a gradual turning inward. Someone who once greeted you warmly may now offer only a faint smile, a few words, or sometimes no response at all. Their awareness of the outside world seems to fade as they spend more time resting or drifting between sleep and wakefulness. It is also common for awareness to shift in surprising ways. A person may speak about seeing loved ones who have passed away, or describe experiences that suggest they are preparing for a journey beyond what we can see. At times, recognition of family and friends may fade, and they may not say your name even when you sit right beside them. While this can be painful for loved ones, it is not a sign of lost love. It is simply the body and mind focusing inward, conserving energy for the final transition. For families, these moments are often emotional. It can feel like losing someone twice, first through the fading awareness, and later through their final passing. But it is important to see this withdrawal as part of the body's natural process of finding peace. The person is not pushing you away, they are preparing for rest. What helps most at this stage is presence. Sitting quietly by their side, holding a hand, speaking gently, or even offering silence can provide a powerful sense of comfort. No perfect words are needed. Often, the most healing gift is simply to let them feel your love without demanding their energy. This stage reminds us that the body knows how to close its own story. Our role is to provide peace, reassurance, and unconditional love as that final chapter unfolds. Sign 8. Restlessness and changes in sleep patterns. Another sign that often appears as the body approaches the end of life is a noticeable change in sleep and rest. You may see long stretches of sleep during the day, followed by wakefulness at night. Sometimes, the person may seem restless, tossing, shifting in bed, or picking at the sheets. These movements are not always a sign of discomfort, rather, they can be the body's way of working through its final changes. Why does this happen? As energy declines, the body cannot maintain the same rhythm of day and night. The balance of chemicals in the brain also shifts, which affects sleep. What once felt like a regular cycle of morning, afternoon, and evening may blend together into irregular periods of sleep and wakefulness. In some cases, restlessness can also come from changes in circulation, breathing, or even from dreams and visions that feel very real to the person. For families, it can be difficult to watch a loved one become unsettled after long periods of quiet rest. The important thing to remember is that these changes are natural. They do not always mean pain or suffering. Often, gentle reassurance can make a world of difference. Soft lighting, calm voices, familiar music, or simply sitting close by can ease the restlessness. At this stage, sleep becomes the body's main way of conserving its remaining strength. The goal is no longer to keep a regular schedule, but to allow the person the freedom to rest whenever the body asks for it. By creating a peaceful environment, you can help transform this restlessness into calm, reminding your loved one that they are safe, cared for, and never alone. When we step back and look at all 8 signs together, they form a picture not of fear, but of understanding. Each change, whether it is the loss of appetite, shifts in breathing, deep fatigue, or the gentle withdrawal from the world, is the body's way of preparing for its final journey. These signals remind us that life has its natural stages, and just as birth is a beginning, death is also a part of that circle. I want to leave you with a thought: life may grow shorter, but love and kindness never do. Every moment we spend showing care, every word of comfort we offer, and every hand we hold becomes a lasting gift. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 7 signs spoke to you the most? Have you noticed them in your own life or in the life of someone you love? Please share in the comments below. Your experience could comfort someone else who is listening today. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating content that informs and inspires.